Well, welcome, my darling true crime angels. You made it to Websleuths YouTube Live. My name is Trisha Griffith. Here's Scrappy Joe, my little old man here. If he sees you on his lawn, he'll start barking. And of course, we have Othram Tex Bug Nugget, the first, Othy for short, with his lamb chop. And so it's Silence of the Lamb Chops. And this is what he's going to be doing all night long. But we have so much to talk about. Here's the weird thing. Nancy Guthrie, what's it been, like 45 days now since she was kidnapped? Well, all of these stories are coming out, and we've already talked about them, but they're coming out like they're brand new, which is crazy, but that's okay. We'll talk about them because, well, first of all, the new thing is that Savannah Guthrie did come out and say that her family has taken lie detector tests and they passed with flying colors, and there's no issues there. And we'll talk about that. We have some quotes on that. But for some reason, people are reporting that it's new that Savannah is livid with Ashleigh Banfield for saying that her brother-in-law was part of, was a possible prime suspect. She did say a prime suspect, and then she walked it back a little bit and said possible prime suspect. And Savannah is absolutely livid about that. Also, Brian Entin has gone home, you guys. That was what I was dreading. He went home a couple of days ago, actually. We've been wrapped up in the Kouri Richins case. And I don't know, I just feel like it won't be the same. And I know they're busy behind the scenes working really hard. And it's not a cold case, but it feels like a cold case to me. But again, they're doing all the things that I thought they had already done. Like brand new today, Brian Entin found out that they are talking to neighbors about like construction companies that have been there. And, what construction companies have been in the neighborhood and working. Well, I would think that would have been like one of the first things they would have done. And I don't know if this is just something new that they're going, because they've gone back now. I think it's the FBI. I've been going back to the neighbor. Well, it's the task force, the FBI, and a couple of people from the sheriff's office. They've been going back to the neighborhood and talking. We'll listen to Brian talk a little bit about that. But that kind of surprised me because I would have thought they've already done that. But they're bringing in a case. People are bringing in this case, another case of a woman named Nancy Woodrum, who was kidnapped, and they found her by geofencing. It was new technology back in 2018. And it was a painting contractor, or a guy who worked for a painting contractor, that kidnapped her and murdered her. And that was actually in Stacy's area, so she'll be able to talk to that. But anyway, they're looking now at that particular case and thinking, is this what happened to Nancy Guthrie? Or was she targeted? Targeted specifically, not because somebody was working in the neighborhood and saw her and then targeted her. No, targeted her for some other reason. I just feel like this has something to do with Savannah. Not that it's Savannah's fault, but something to do with her fame. Again, we don't know because they're just not saying anything. So we'll be talking about that. Let's see, what else are we talking about? Oh, and again, this is something that we've talked about before about the teenage boys who the same night Nancy was kidnapped, they were talked into doing this by somebody online. Okay, they're from California, but they drove to Arizona, and the same night that Nancy Guthrie was taken, these teenagers went into a house to try and kidnap this person because it had to do with a $66 million cryptocurrency theft scheme that they were trying to get involved with. Like I said, somebody online talked these dumb kids into doing that. And Stacy and we all talked about that right when it happened. Well, it's being brought up again. Could it be a type of situation again? Was somebody talked into doing this to Nancy Guthrie online? But for what? It's not like she had cryptocurrency, all stacked up in her house and all these accounts and everything, like she was the grandma of cryptocurrency or something. That was a specific situation where these young kids were trying to get this 66 million in cryptocurrency, but everybody's wondering, is it because the ransom note, they asked for cryptocurrency? And what happened with that? Didn't that just kind of fizzle out? Wouldn't they be like demanding the money? Like, give me my money. I'm not going to show you proof of life. I'm not going to show you proof of death. Give me my money first, then we'll show you something. It's just been nothing. So again, wouldn't law enforcement already have gone around the neighborhood and talked to people and said, okay, what contractors have you hired? Who has come to work for you? Let's find out everybody that's come to work for all of the neighbors in the neighborhood that could have seen Nancy Guthrie and thought, aha, there is a sweet lady and she might have money, she might have jewels, whatever. I was listening to a former FBI person tonight say that they felt like the guy coming up to the camera, I call him backpack guy, that was actually staged and that Nancy Guthrie had already been taken out of the house by that time. I don't think so. I don't think it was staged. Again, I would have thought they would have by now. One of the first things they would have done in the first week, gone around, find out who had contractors, who had workers in and out of the neighborhood. Who did Nancy hire? First time, that would be the first people they would look at. Well, again, it appears that this is what they're talking about now to the neighborhood. There's another date that they're interested in addition to July 11th. We're going to get into that as well. So again, these things we have already talked about, but they're being brought up again because for some reason, law enforcement, they're going around and talking to people, and these people that law enforcement are talking to are coming forward and speaking out. And that's how we know these things. So let's see. I think that's what we have for tonight. Oh, yes, we also want to ask you, and we'll ask this at the end of the show, and that is, what one piece of evidence, if you had to pick one piece of evidence that just was the final nail in the coffin for Kouri Richins, what would that be? In my opinion, it would be the walk the dog letter. Or it maybe the housekeeper testifying. I don't know. Stacy asked me that question and like my brain froze. I just went, what? I don't know. Because I can't pick just one, but we're going to make you try and pick just one. And in fact, speak of the wonderful angel herself, let's bring Stacy back up to the stage. How you doing, my dear?
I'm doing great.
Stacy?
I'm doing great.
Is there a delay?
Oh,
or
maybe
is
I
it
said
just
it
hard
twice.
hearing? I know, I heard
know.
you say it twice, but there was
okay.
a couple of beats. I asked you and I thought she's not there. So I think there might be a little bit of a delay, but we're good. We're good. Okay. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to play a short really quickly from Brian Entin. Okay. And then we're going to go into an interview that Brian did here that, again, talks about things that I thought were already done, but I guess not. So let me grab this really quickly here. Oh, and by the way, I manage this great website called Websleuths.com. And in the description, I've put links to the discussions of the cases that we're talking about tonight. The Nancy Guthrie discussion is actually a full forum. If you go to the link that I put there, you'll see all of these different discussion threads. And there's one massive thread with over 42,000 posts in it. That one is amazing. And then the Kouri Richins discussion thread, I've put both of those in the description so you can click on those and see. Oh, and Stacy, let's not forget, you told me that there's something new added to our YouTube channel. And it is what's it called that people can click on and help promote the site? What's it called? Stacy?
A hype button.
Are you a what?
Did you hear me? A hype
I
button.
did. Say it one more time. We're talking over each other. Say it now.
A hype button.
Hype.
HYPE.
HYPE. Okay. Because I don't have it on mine. Maybe I can't hype my own video.
Right.
But,
you can't. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't have a hype button, but why don't you now, while I get this video set up, why don't you explain what a hype button is and how it can help our channel?
Yeah, so a hype button is there to help, smaller channels
Mm-hmm.
get attention, get more on the algorithm, get shared. There's also a leaderboard, so the most hyped videos, that's pretty neat. You can go look and you'll see videos and channels you've never heard of before you might like. So,
Cool.
but yeah, it really helps us out with getting
Yeah.
more people to watch the videos.
Right. Now, I think you can only, if I remember correctly, only hype like 3 videos per week. So
Yes.
do keep that in mind. You can't just go around hyping a whole bunch of videos. So I
Yeah.
hope with all my heart and soul that you will pick our humble channel to hype, because it will really help us. We're trying to hit 50,000. Oh my God, we keep going. We're at 48,900. We are at 952. Now we're at 947. And I just want to talk to those 5 people and say, why? Why did you unsubscribe? Maybe they don't even know they unsubscribed, because YouTube unsubscribes people all the time. So if you could double check and make sure you are subscribed, that would be
Or
fantastic. Yes.
or you might get another Dave letter.
That's right. I might get another Dave letter that will give me all kinds of great advice on how to improve my channel. In case you missed the Dave letter, we'll have to read it sometime because it is
Oh,
hilarious. It starts out so nice, and then he just rips me a new one. I'm just the biggest piece of garbage ever, and that's why my channel isn't working. So I will never
oh,
forget that. Never.
yeah,
It's
we'll
too
make a
funny.
show out of it. Send us one.
We should.
Anyways,
Yes, send us another Dave letter, please.
Ping just messaged me and he asked, "What's going on? You're both woo woo." He said, "What happened?" So I guess we're both, I don't know,
Who said
messing
that?
up or something. Ping, he's on. We're
Hank,
both woo woo right now.
why are we woo woo, guys? Are we okay? What's
Yeah,
going on?
maybe it was you asking and me answering that part, I think.
I don't know. Well, I saw that you were muted, and I'd asked you a question, and then you stayed muted. So I asked you again, and then I think you
I
unmuted.
don't
I
know.
think there's a delay of some sort. So I think. Oh, and we have good news. If you remember the Melanie Curtin case, we'll remind you. But Jim Rathman had come on our channel a few years ago and talked about this horrible case about this woman who had been charged with these terrible crimes of rape, and oh my God, it was awful, and it was so false. It was just absolutely ridiculous, and she's been acquitted. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. So
I have
we're
a
frozen.
question.
Oh, he says we're frozen.
Oh no. Well,
Are we frozen,
I'm always
guys?
frozen. So
Yes, you are.
you, I see
Yes.
a dog moving. So
Oh, yes.
um,
I didn't think I was frozen. What are you going to say?
your evening tomorrow night is free, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we will have the amazing Jim Rathman on tomorrow to
Is he
discuss it.
coming on tomorrow? Oh my God, that's great. Yes. So you texted him and he said yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Wonderful. Finally. How many times have we been? Every time you getting ready to come on, something happens. No,
Yeah,
tomorrow
my
is
husband
fantastic.
or something with him or something with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always something. So tomorrow, Jim Rathman, and he'll talk about, in fact, we'll save all of the Melody Curtin talk for tomorrow, because when you hear about this case, you guys,
Yeah.
you're gonna die. He's
Yeah.
just and he has been fighting for this woman, and what an amazing advocate he is. So okay, let's get to Nancy Guthrie. Resting face. Stephanie says, I call it Spinster says, I call it resting Trish face. Exactly. It's exactly what it is. It's resting Trish face, as opposed to resting face.
Yeah.
Trish kind of rhymes with the B word. Oh my gosh, I never thought of that. Yikes. Yikes. Okay. Let's get to it now. This is just a quick short from Brian Entin that explains a few things here about Nancy Guthrie. And again, a lot of this stuff we've already talked about, but it's coming back up like it's new news. So let's take a look at this really quickly here, and then we will get to the rest of the story. Here we go. Now I'll probably freeze again because I'm going to go to YouTube. Every time I go to YouTube, I freeze, but my voice continues. So just know that I will be back. I absolutely will be back if I freeze. Okay, everybody, here's
Yes.
Brian Entin. Here we go.
Cameras at Nancy's house. The issue is, though, they are not, know that the FBI has been able to obtain images from those. There were know that the FBI has been able to obtain images from those additional cameras at Nancy's house. The issue is, though, they are not the full images and they're not videos. They're just the thumbnails. So every time that the cameras picked up motion, there was a thumbnail created, and that is what the FBI has. And what's sort of odd is around the time frame that Nancy went missing, all of those images are apparently missing. So they don't have those images from early morning hours of February 1st, but they may be making progress in terms of getting into the cameras now that they have these thumbnails. Overall, it does seem like good news. Know that the FBI.
Okay, so remember the neighbor that told us that the night that Nancy went missing, there was a disruption in the internet at that time that the person was in Nancy's house, because their camera, that they could see Nancy's house with their camera, with this one particular camera in the corner of their yard. Nothing was on it, like it didn't work. And that's why people have been talking about, well, did he bring in a signal jammer? Something happened during that time that Nancy was kidnapped. And now it's just been, to me, confirmed, because there's no images during that time that Nancy, that he was in the house, but they've got thumbnails, and I don't know what the hell they can get off of those, but we'll just have to wait and see. So first I'm going to play Megan Kelly. I swear I'm totally spoiled, because now all I can say is Megan instead of Megan. Megan Kelly, she has she put up this just a few minutes ago, actually a few hours ago, and talking about a theory that the sheriff has in this case. And so we'll let Megan Kelly tell us all about that. And again, I'll freeze, but everybody, I will be back, I promise you. And I've done everything on my end. It's got to be a StreamYard issue. That's the only thing it can be. It's the weirdest damn thing ever. But here we go. Let's see what the sheriff says.
Talking about the sheriff. So he's changed his messaging again on whether there's a threat to the community in a way that I would argue seems to undermine that this is a stalker, that this is an NBC News stalker or family member. Just to take you back through it, at the beginning of the investigation, the sheriff said this about whether there was a public safety threat, SOT 21.
With this being an active crime scene, is there any threat to the general public?
Trying to figure out my point. Well, no, I don't think there's an active threat, but I hate to say that because, we're going to canvass that neighborhood, and maybe there's a prowler been seen around. There's a lot of work still to do. We don't have any indication that that the public is in danger.
You're not sure if it's targeted. Why do you believe there's no wider threat to the public?
Well, we have crime in Tucson all the time, right? Like any city. And so when you say a threat to the public, is there somebody out there who's kidnapping elderly people in the middle of the night every night? We've not heard that. We don't believe that's the case.
No threat to the public. Now, here he is in an interview with NBC News just this past Friday, SOT 22.
Do you think that this suspect could strike again, whoever did this?
Well, absolutely. We believe we know why he did this, and we believe that it was targeted, but we're not 100% sure of that. And so it'd be silly to tell people, yeah, don't worry about it. You're not his target. Don't think for a minute that because it happened to the Guthrie family, you're safe. No, keep your wits about you.
What, Maureen?
Well, I think what he's trying to say is, the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. So if someone is predisposed to doing this type of crime, they may do it again. But the statistics, as he also said, don't support serial offender or people pulling 84-year-old ladies out of their bed. There's just it just happens so rarely. I kind of just stopped listening to him a while ago because he should have hired his PIO. His PIO should have been the person delivering a clear and concise message. They should
Public
have been
information
working with the
officer.
FBI's PIO, and it should have just been delivered regularly, in an organized fashion with no
But
back and forth.
It's pretty diametrically opposed to say at the beginning there is no public safety threat, and then now 44 days in to say don't think for a minute that you're safe. And then he also adds, Fitz, we believe we know why she was taken. It was targeted. So what is he trying to tell us here?
Well, he's covering his ass, to be CYA, to be blunt there at the end with those other statements. He wants to make sure if anything by chance does happen, again, something similar, even in some other part of the country that can somehow be linked to this, he doesn't want to be the one that they quote, at least his last quote, that, well, it could never happen anywhere. She was specifically targeted. This is not going to happen in Tucson or elsewhere. So I think he's obviously talked to other people and maybe said, all right, you may want to lighten that up a little bit there. You may have gone a little bit overboard in the beginning. I mean, obviously, it's been 44 days. And as far as we know, there have been no other abductions such as this one. But I think he just wanted to make sure he's kind of buttering his bread on both sides there. And he's covered.
I mean,
if something
saying
bad
though
does
explicitly,
happen.
we believe we know why she was targeted is new.
Well, that's a little. Yeah, I was
That
just say
was
that's a little
interesting.
bit different. And that comes out, and then that, we've said all along when we were together, Megan with Maureen and others, that the investigators know a lot more than we do, and for him to say early on, at least within targeted, that means they have motivation listed, and if they think it was kidnapping earlier for profit, that seems to have been put off the shelf there. So I would like to hear more about why the person was targeted, or why Mrs. Guthrie was targeted, but they're keeping that close to the vest, obviously.
To your point, Maureen, you have to take everything the sheriff says with a grain of salt. But if that's true, that's huge. That's actually a huge development.
It is huge. And it tells us just what it's just said. And we all know those investigators know so much more than we do. And they're on to something. They're on to something big. They just may be having a hard time proving it. But if you look at the Kouri Richins case, that took over a year and several months before she got arrested, before they were able to really build a case. And building a case is like building a cage. You're doing it link by link by link. And, you have to have a certain sense of confidence. And for him to say, no one's really safe, he may just be saying, hey, we know what the motive is, but we don't know who you are, to give the offender a sense of security or something where he doesn't feel like he's in that cage yet because they want him to trip up. I've always had the feeling since the beginning that they're trying to get him to trip up, and they as far as we know, haven't been able to, but we don't know everything they know. They could have another legitimate ransom note for all we know, and if it went straight to the FBI, we wouldn't know about it.
And we don't know whether his statements suggesting they didn't find anything from the DNA and the backpack investigation didn't go anywhere is true. We don't know whether any of those statements to us are true. He has no obligation to tell us the truth. And they often use the media for subterfuge around what the suspect may be hearing. So everything's got that huge grain of salt. Huge. It's the huge, coarse sea salt grain of salt, not the tiny table salt that you get at the deli. In 2006, $20,000 equaled roughly 30.
Okay, let's see. I'm not sure if this is a full commercial. Just a minute here. Let's do this. Let's see. Okay, so that's it. That's it. I love that FBI agent. She's amazing.
I love Maureen. I'm finding her. I'm contacting her. I'm done.
She's great. And do find her. Let's get her on, because
I love her.
You know how Brian Entin met her? It was, I think
Oh,
it was
the
in front of,
courtroom?
no, it was in, I think it was in front of Rob Reiner's house. Like she was like
yes, I
jogging,
remember.
and he was out there, and he just started talking to her, and she's like, well, yeah, I'm former FBI. And he's like, well, hey, I do this show. And then boom, She
Yeah,
just,
it's one of those because I thought it was during the courtroom for Nick, but it could be the house. So it's
yeah,
yeah,
I literally
yeah,
think she was just jogging by, you know.
yeah, crazy.
So, okay, so there you go. Again,
Oh yeah, I remember
he's
that.
the sheriff is saying that she's targeted, but we don't know why. And really everybody, and I keep saying this over and over, it literally could be anything. Again, the Nancy Woodrum case, that's by your house, right, Stacy?
Yes, a
Yes.
little up north. It's in my county. Yes.
Right. And it was a painting contractor or somebody that worked for a painting contractor that that kidnapped and murdered her. And they found her by geofencing. They put basically an invisible fence around her house, and they were able to track everybody that came to her house and left her house during that time. And that's how they were able to catch the guy. And he's convicted, and it's done. So they're bringing up that particular case to say, look, was it somebody that was working in the neighborhood or working on Nancy's house? Now, again, everybody, to me, that should have been done. What are we, 45 days into it? That should have been done
Well,
already a long time ago.
from what I've
I don't
seen
know.
in other cases, I'm positive that was done. But what happens then as you go through things, then you find other leads. There's something somebody forgot to mention, or there's an, a cell phone that went through or something, and you're going around to double check.
That
So,
could be it.
they go back and redo it all over again.
Yeah, and that absolutely
Yeah.
could be. It could be they are completely trying to just go back again, do their, trace back their tracks
Yeah.
and talk
I
to the
mean,
people.
yeah. You find
So,
another lead that points, well, wait a minute. This person didn't say anything about, let me go check and see if they had somebody there. They're going to go back and back and back.
right,
You know.
right. And now the neighbors are finally talking, and they're
Yeah.
especially talking to Brian Entin. Thank goodness. So
Mhm.
happy to see that. So we're going to play a little bit of Brian's video right now that he did just a few hours ago. I'm going to put the link in chat here. So be sure and go to Brian's channel and subscribe and watch the rest of it. But and then we're going to talk about these other dates that they're interested in, that they're asking the neighbors about. They're asking the neighbors to, in fact, Brian talks about it. They actually sat down with one of the neighbors and went through the video with her on this other particular date. But let's go to Brian Entin Investigates right now and get a little bit of an update. That we'll come back and see what you all think. And I feel like we're just going in circles, and that's okay. Let's just the thing is, you got to keep talking about it. You've got to keep talking about it. Here we go.
Thanks so much for checking out my show. I really, really appreciate it. Please click to subscribe. I appreciate all your support. Today is day 45 in the search for Nancy Guthrie, which is kind of crazy. It's now officially been about a month and a half since Nancy went missing on February 1st. A couple of new developments today that I've learned about. I have confirmed through sources that the FBI has been back in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood over the last 24 hours or so, going back to neighbors' houses and asking more questions. Some of the things that I know that they're talking about is there's one neighbor that moved out before Nancy disappeared, and they have been asking more questions about that situation. Not to say that that has anything to do with what happened, but that is something that the FBI agents are asking about. And then also, and this I found to be particularly interesting, they are asking about, there's several houses that are under construction in the neighborhood, and they are asking specifically for names of contractors and workers who were working in the neighborhood on those houses, on those construction projects. And I'm talking about like specifics, like they want the names of all the contractors and workers who are working on those houses. And I saw the construction while I was there, just driving around. There are several houses under construction in the area. So that to me is an interesting new nugget. that I just found out about today. So I'm going to discuss that and a couple of other new things that I learned about what's going on behind the scenes with the investigation with my friend and former FBI Special Agent Steve Moore. All right, Steve, it's nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. There's a couple of things I wanted to ask you about. I was thinking about you this morning because a few little sort of, I call them nuggets, have come out with the Nancy Guthrie case. The first thing is I'm back home in Florida, but I obviously made a lot of friends in the neighborhood and stuff. And one of the neighbors texted me this morning. She texted me early. She said, I wanted to tell you that the FBI came over today, had some more questions about some things that I saw. They also called my friend who's building a house down the street from Nancy. They wanted to know all of the workers and contractors at that house. Leads me to the conclusion that they are no further along than day 2. That's just what she thought. But what I was interested in is they wanted to know all of the workers and contractors from a house that's being built down the street. What does that say to you?
Well, obviously, it means they're retracing steps. And, I've used this analogy with you before. Say you can't find your car keys and you walk through the house or the apartment, you look for where you usually leave them, they're not there. Then you have to go back and you have to retrace and you have to say, hey, what pants were I wearing? Or where's my purse or whatever like that. And you go to the second level. When you get down to the third or fourth level, these are things you don't usually check, but you may start pulling cushions off beds or off couches, things like that. And you'll go in deeper and deeper and deeper. And so people say, why didn't the FBI do this already? Because the normal search yields your keys in about 20 seconds. The secondary search yields them in about 2 to 5 minutes. And if you start with undoing the couches or the couch cushions in your living room, you'll never get to the bedroom where the keys are. So they are now obviously to the point where they are pulling up cushions in the couch. And I think that would explain they are not actually at day 2, though I understand completely why it seems that way. They are where they would have been if all normal searches didn't work.
And just specifically with workers and contractors, like in my neighborhood right now, there's a lot of construction and there's just an enormous amount of people that come in and out that are working on houses. And you can kind of, they are not people that I recognize from the neighborhood. They're usually in work trucks, they're in pickup trucks. Is there anything specific that stands out to you that they're looking at a house that's being built and trying to talk to all the workers involved? Does that stand out for a specific reason, or do you just think they're trying to cover everything?
No, it does stand out for one reason. And I don't know if you're going to find this fascinating or not, but the theory of the crime is a big deal. The theory of the crime informs every other bit of investigation you do. And from the beginning, the theory of the crime has been that this was targeted, that this wasn't a random thing where somebody goes to a house, he doesn't know who he's going to find inside. He's thinking, I'll just get the usual cash in the underwear drawer and, some jewelry, watches, something like that. But no, that's not what happened here, according to everything I've seen. And according by this investigation, that the FBI believes. They believe that this is targeted. So then you have to find out who would target it, obviously going back to the beginning. But there are 2 or 3 areas. Did they target Nancy? Did they target Savannah? Did they target Annie? They targeted this residence for a specific purpose. I believe 100% they knew that Nancy Guthrie was on the other side of that door when they were trying to cover up the Ring camera. So this goes to the point that while the FBI may have changed their theory of why she was targeted, they have not for 1 minute changed their theory that she was targeted. And so to target somebody, you have to, in some way, shape, or form, come in contact with them.
And you think that leads back to why they're interested in a like a contractor from down the street?
Yeah, I would think so. And not necessarily that there's an indication that any of those contractors have done anything wrong or those workmen have done anything wrong, but they are people who would have very possibly come in contact with Nancy. And I think one of the main things that I would like to find out if they would let me in on the case is how ambulatory was she? How traveling was she? She had a car, but she didn't go to church at her local church. She Zoomed it with her, or she followed their online services for a church in New York that Savannah went to. So that leads me to believe that she didn't get out of the house as much. So then that complicates things because she doesn't come into contact with that many people. Did she walk every day? What if she walked past the construction site? There's lots of things like that.
Yeah, she used to walk. The neighbors told me, I think like years ago, there was actually a group of them that would all walk together, and she was part of that group. But I think it's been a while. I mean, I think her health has really been, even some of the neighbors told me like they were kind of worried about her sometimes, like they didn't see her coming out of the house as much, that kind of thing.
Right. And so then that would lead one to believe that maybe it was somebody who came into the house, or came to her house, or, this kind of thing happens. I mean, you've probably seen this kind of thing where you get a door knock and somebody says, "Hey, I'm cutting trees down the block, and I thought, while I'm here, I can give you a deal and cut some of your trees." Or, "Do you need a gardener?" or anything like that. She doesn't have to get out necessarily for somebody to door knock her. And so what I would be interested in combination with this is any solicitors that came by any of the houses in the neighborhoods in the weeks beforehand.
Yeah, and I know most contractors and people working on houses are just doing their jobs and it's not like they're bad people normally, obviously.
Yes,
actually, someone emailed me the other day because I was talking about contractors and said, we're contractors, me and my husband, and you gave us a bad rap. Obviously, most of them are good, but it does make sense. Those are, like, I was just thinking back to my neighborhood. Those are really the outsiders that come in. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they are. And frequently to the person who contacted you about contractors, I'll agree 100%. I am not casting aspersions on contractors, but there are people who come into neighborhoods specifically to case places who masquerade as contractors. And there is no profession that is without its problem child. I mean, the worst spy in the history of the world, I think, came from the FBI internally. So I love the FBI, so I'm certainly not jamming on contractors, but it is possible that somebody at that job site found a reason to go into that house.
Oh boy. Again, you guys, we've been all through this. We have been all through this. I do want to play one more quick short from Brian Entin, and that's about the dates. I posted it in chat. Apparently now there are 2 different dates other than the night that Nancy went missing that the FBI is interested in, and that's January 11th and January 24th. And let me play this quick short for you. And then we're going to get to the polygraph and why is Savannah so upset at Ashleigh Banfield? There is a big article in the New York Post about it. I think it's New York Post. So hang on here. Let me make sure I've got the right one. Is this it? That's camera images. That's not it. It's this one right here. Here we go. Okay. Hang tight, everybody. Here we go. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee.
hey guys, so something new and interesting with the case, something that I didn't know about before. I actually spoke to a neighbor who I haven't spoken to before, and she was telling me that when FBI agents have visited her several times to ask about the case, whether she knew anything, that they've been interested in 2 specific dates. January 11th, which is something that I've reported before, that I've heard from other neighbors, but also January 24th, which is the Saturday before Nancy Guthrie went missing, 8 days before she went missing. This neighbor was telling me that FBI agents were specifically asking her for video from January 24th and also stayed with her while she went through her cameras looking at video from January 24th. They did not say exactly what they were looking for, but she said it was clear that it was January 24th and January 11th that they were interested in. So just a new date that I hadn't heard about before. I'm actually back in Florida now. I left work on a weekend just to kind of come home, take care of some stuff, recharge a little bit, but I'm still working the case like crazy. I'm going to have my full interview with her later so you guys can see it.
Okay, there you go. More dates now that they're asking people to look in their cameras. And again, all of this is stuff that we have talked about. And like you said, Stacy, maybe they found something else about another contractor that was in the neighborhood that they just discovered. It sounds like to me, the way Brian Entin is reporting it, is that this is just, they've just started doing this. Now, maybe they've already done it and it's been going on, but it sounds like I said, the way he's described it, it's making it appear that they're just starting to look at the contractors that were in the neighborhood and, you know, people coming door to door, selling things, and they're asking the neighbors to look at their cameras on January 11th and January 11th and January 24th, in addition to January 31st, February 1st. So stuff we've all talked about before. It's all been talked about. But I do think that bringing up the case of Nancy Woodrum from 2018, how they were able to capture her killer, who was a painting contractor or worked for a painting contractor, using geofencing, which is basically a big invisible fence that they put around an area, and then they're able to track who comes in, who comes out. And that was fairly new back then in 2018. They were able to find this guy. And yeah, so he's off the streets. So Stacy, you've always said that you felt that it's going to be that technology that finds it, right?
Yes, I do. In this case, yes.
So I'm assuming they're doing geofencing all over that neighborhood. They have to. And,
Right.
you know, if the guy was smart enough not to bring a camera or anything that they could trace, again, her pacemaker, they might be able to trace that. But again, how far could it go before the signal drops off? It's just so hard to know. It is so hard to know. But let's talk about the polygraph. Now, we've heard rumors of a polygraph, and because the sheriff doesn't tell us a damn thing at all, ever, we don't have any idea what is going on. But according to, let me grab it here. Where did it go? Here it is. This is this MSN? I thought, oh, this is New York Post. Yes, it says Savannah Guthrie is livid over false accusations against brother-in-law in missing mom's case. Okay, now this was just posted just yesterday. All right, now Ashleigh Banfield made this accusation just a few days after Nancy was taken. So I guess somebody's finally spoken out about how Savannah feels about it. Now, today anchor Savannah Guthrie is livid over early claims that her brother-in-law was a prime suspect in her mom Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, according to her former NBC colleague Megyn Kelly. The conservative Firebrand said she had learned Guthrie was left fuming after fellow journalist Ashleigh Banfield had alleged that Savannah's brother-in-law was somehow tied to the February 1st kidnapping in Tucson, Arizona. Kelly dropped the revelations amid reports that Guthrie is planning to sue Banfield over the false allegations, and especially since the Pima County Sheriff's Department publicly cleared the family of having any involvement. Now, I have not been able to confirm that the Guthrie family wants to sue Ashleigh Banfield, but I have confirmed that Savannah is livid about the report and definitely does not suspect her or her brother-in-law, Kelly said. So there you go. Now, that leads me to, actually kind of going backwards, that leads me to the polygraph. I want to read that one first and then leapfrog to the polygraph. So let me find that one, which I had pulled up here. And now there's the teens one. Okay, where's the polygraph? That's right here it is. And this is from Crime Online, or Nancy Grace's online news blog, where they go around reading all of the stories about true crime so we don't have to. And this is by our good friend Lee Agan. And it says, missing Arizona mother Nancy Guthrie, family has reportedly passed polygraph tests as the search for the 84-year-old continues. During an interview on the Megyn Kelly Show, former SWAT team leader Chad Ayers stated that Nancy's daughter, Today Show host Savannah Guthrie, along with Savannah's siblings and brother-in-law, passed the test with flying colors. I can also report that that has been confirmed this morning, and I'm sure we all assume this, that every family member passed polygraphs with flying colors, Ayers said. It's unclear when the polygraph test took place, but Ayers confirms the information. He confirmed that on Monday. And again, we've been talking mostly about the Kouri Richins case, so we're kind of catching up here, playing a little catch up here. Now, Ayers also said authorities currently have no suspects or leads in the case, citing reliable boots on the ground source. So again, there you go. The family took polygraphs. I have not heard Ashleigh Banfield come out and say, I am walking back that statement I made. Not at all. In fact, a few days after she made it, she doubled down and said, I believe my source. But we haven't heard her say anything about this at all lately. So there you go. They've passed polygraphs, which is, I'm assuming, why the sheriff cleared them so strongly. Although, I mean, even though they passed polygraphs, you know, I tool around online, Stacy, and there are still people that are absolutely convinced that it was somebody in that family, you know, the brother-in-law, the sister, the brother, for some reason, even though they've passed these polygraph tests, why are they still questioning that whether they're involved or not? I don't understand. And again, I wish the sheriff would come out and say something else. Go ahead.
Well, for example, there's always going to be people that think Elvis is alive.
Well, that's true.
And there's lizard people. So,
yes,
you know, there are people that look at the facts, the evidence, they can't accept it, and they go on with their thoughts on what else it is. So,
well, exactly. I want to ask people in chat here. Is there anybody in chat who, even though now you know that the family has passed polygraphs, you still believe that somebody in the family is involved? I'm talking about the brother-in-law, the brother, sister, those in-laws. We don't know who else took the test, but does that change your mind at all? If it doesn't, let me know and tell us why. Okay. Yeah. Blitzkrieg, I don't think Ashleigh Banfield is credible. Not anymore. You know the problem I've had with her recently. It's like, you know, I don't know what she's doing. She used to be really credible, and I followed her religiously, but not anymore. Not after what she did in the Ramsey case, and now this. Sorry, it's a little too much. So let's see. Kathy Lynch says, I think it's still on the table for me. And you guys, that's true, because polygraphs are not 100%. Okay, they're not absolutely without question the truth all the time. People can pass them, that's true. But by now, don't you think there would have been something in the car? There would have been something in the electronics, something that they could have found and that they could trace back to someone in the family. Because that's the first people they look at. And I know that's the first people they looked at here, because they were the last ones to see them. Her sister and her brother-in-law were the last ones to see her, to see Nancy. And although the sheriff would not confirm it, we do believe it was the brother-in-law that took Nancy home. They logically would be the first ones whose lives would be turned upside down by the investigation, looking for any clues, so they could clear them. So, hello, Megan. It's good to see you, my dear. 3rd_verse. Glad you made it.
Mhm.
Let's see here. Yeah, I was trying to say Megan Kelly, and I couldn't get my brain to say it because I've trained it to say Megan for so long.
I do the same thing now.
Yeah.
Everybody's a Megan.
Everyone's a Megan. And
Yep.
it's because I literally had to train my brain, because when I see Megan, I never think Megan. But when you have a guest on all the time named Megan, but it's spelled Megan, you don't want to be rude. You want to get it right. So do you see the
Yeah.
living hell we go through for you people? Do you
Yeah.
understand now? The absolute living hell that we go through. So anyway, yeah, Peekaboo says, no, I think the family is innocent. I do too. I do too. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think it's somebody that targeted Nancy because of Savannah? That's what I think. I think it's somebody that targeted Nancy because of Savannah. Anybody else in chat feel that way? Let me ask you this. Do you think Nancy Guthrie was targeted because she was Nancy Guthrie and nothing to do with Savannah? For whatever reason, whether it was her views on political views, or whether it was something that she did, locally. I mean, she was kind of famous locally. Do you think she was targeted just because they thought maybe she was rich? They thought that she had jewelry in there? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see here what everybody's saying. Blitzkrieg says, I actually think it was not targeted, but I can't explain why. As Sherry Workhorse says, I stopped watching Ashleigh Banfield when she would go off on a tangent and cuss like a sailor. Not the small curse words, but the ugly ones, foul, filthy cursing on her channel. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Well, I get it. I get it. That can really turn people off, and I completely understand that. Yeah, I think it's a Savannah stalker, Olivia. Yeah, I think so too. I absolutely think is it olive oil? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Olive oil. That's what I think too. I think it is a Savannah stalker, and I think he targeted Nancy for some reason, thinking he'd get closer to Savannah. So let's see here. Just read a few things here.
Wow. That just gave me a great idea if somebody had asked
Who's that?
what they think.
Oh, I know who you're going to ask.
Yes. I don't say it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
ask
tell
her.
them.
Absolutely. Olivia Burton says the lie detector test does not have me convinced, and I get that too. It's because it's not infallible.
yeah.
It's not
Right.
perfect. So
Yeah.
and it's not.
It's a
admissible in court.
diagnostic tool,
Yes.
and you just take it like that,
Absolutely. Debbie Niner fan says I don't trust the lie detector test either, and that could be. But again, I want to point out, I think they would have had something by now if it was somebody that was a family member. But then again, because we don't know anything, who knows? Go ahead, Stace.
Yeah, see, I agree with that, because I think if they had their eye on a family member, they would turn their life inside out.
Yes.
Okay. So now that's what I say. And then I have this little thing poking me in the back. Like, remember other cases, they knew it was a husband. They had to find the evidence first, but they knew it was him. And so I have that where I think if it was the family, they would have already got, them by now. But then I think maybe not with the evidence. Yeah.
Mark Sievers, Teresa Sievers case. Let's talk about that.
Yes.
We all knew. We knew that son of a gun did it, even though he was out of the state. But we knew. And he did. And he is on death row now, as he should be. So
yeah. And that's like in the Kristen Smart case.
Yes. You knew.
We knew for 26 years or whatever that it was him, or longer. And
exactly.
It took them all those years to get the right witnesses, to get the right evidence.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because
of course,
people would come out all of a sudden after years, they decided to talk.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And we've talked about that before. That might be what happens here. Is all of a sudden
Yeah.
somebody decides to talk.
Yes,
Forson's
ma'am.
mom says, had Savannah been staying with her mom while she was recuperating from her voice surgery? Does anyone know? I have not
Great
heard that.
question.
That is a great question.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to guess, I would say no, because Savannah does have kids at home, but mom might have said, come on, honey, come stay with me. I want to take care of you. That's what I would do. That's what probably
Well,
all of us would do.
you know who will know the answer to this?
Who?
Websleuths.com. So that's
Well,
where
that's
I'll
true.
go.
That's, yeah, go check and see if that has been confirmed. So now there's another story that I want to read to you. And it makes me sick to my stomach to read this.
Great.
You sent it to me, or did I send it to you? I can't remember.
I don't know, but no, I'm not proud of myself. After hearing that, if I did it, I'm like bad.
No. It was, hold on, I'll tell you.
Oh, God.
Just a
Oops.
second. Oh, it was you that sent it to me, I think. No, it wasn't you. Hold on. Wait a minute. Yes, it was you. Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
This is from the New York Post, everybody. Now, I'm not going to read the YouTuber that they're talking about, but I think a lot of you know.
I got it. Yeah.
I think a lot of you know who that is. Because I just don't want to give him any sort of, just publicity, I guess.
Make a pseudonym or something.
Yeah. What could I say? I don't know.
The
CLR.
pineapple.
I could do, no, how about CLR? CLR, like the stuff that removes rust. Let's call
Yeah,
him
I kind
CLR.
of like calling people pineapple better, but go with CLR. It's more professional.
YouTubers, now get this. This is from the New York Post. YouTubers making thousands of dollars from ghoulishly hanging around crime scenes and unfounded theories. Now, I want to state unequivocally, we are not one of those YouTubers making thousands of dollars. Okay? We are absolutely not. But this, again, is according to the New York Post. A surreal scene unfolded at the scene of Nancy Guthrie's abduction on February 10th when a pizza delivery man approached the house with a stack of pies. Frustrated police turned him away from the active crime scene with a stern warning. Reporters there claimed the pizzas had been sent by a fan for the true crime live stream of this person. Now, this person was part of a gaggle camped at the front of the house, a new breed of content creators who blur the lines between reporting, investigation, and entertainment. We're trying to give people a view from an outsider looking in to see what it's like, especially after the mainstream media goes home, said another co-founder of a YouTube channel. Now, a network of streamers who were also in Tucson, Arizona, they were all at Guthrie's house. And then this person goes on to say, I asked my supporters and followers what else they want, what were they looking for, and try and give it to them. This streamer said, to casual observers, it may seem bizarre to watch for hours, only to see little more than a police shift change happen. And that is true. They were broadcasting live. They just had the live stream going almost 24/7 in front of Nancy's house. And there wasn't anything going on, but people still watched it. Hell, I watch a channel where it's those quarter machines that you put a quarter into a machine, a game, and then it pushes the quarter and then the quarters fall over the edge. I found myself watching that for 2 hours. So who knows why people watch things that don't do anything, but they do. And they are making a boatload of money here. So, God. Now, but streamers who have built up their brands, giving daily commentary on missing persons cases, murders, and police investigations, have devoted communities who treat the cases like interactive mysteries. Now, this person, including an unrelated car tow and a hospital airlift, he felt could be connected to the case. Now, this person went on there and saw this car being towed and a hospital helicopter taking somebody to the hospital. This person decided that they were related to the case and created this big mass. Oh my gosh, something's going to break because this person is saying this. And And he's got video, a live stream of a car being towed and a live stream of a helicopter. And it was this big drama that happened. And this person also takes requests. Let's see, takes requests for super chat cash donations. So somebody like asked a question, is there a doormat there? Asked a woman after donating $5. And so this streamer walked a little closer to Guthrie's house and zooming in on the mat. Yep, have a look. They haven't taken it away for testing. So, and I'll put this link in the description so you can see the pictures and such. Now, these do-it-yourself online channels can prove lucrative too. Get ready. Stacy, you're going to die. Are you ready?
Yeah.
With top live streamers pulling in up to 30,000 a week. 30, did you hear me? I did not choke, although I should have. 30,000 a week. And even fans flying in from other states to meet them. They're like rock stars. Followers say they admire the doggedness and feel they are part of the investigation. However, they are not. And that is where police say problems arise.
Yes.
And that's where we get painted with that brush, you guys.
Yeah, that's
This is where
terrible.
this channel gets thrown into that. People throw websleuths.com into that mix. We absolutely do not ever do that, ever, ever. Now, during the ongoing search for Nancy, God, this keeps jumping around. Sorry, guys. Because keeps throwing ads up at me. And then I lose my place. Let's see, hold on just a second. During the ongoing search for Guthrie, the Mother of Today anchor Savannah Guthrie, which has been active since February 1st, and in the absence of suspects and leads, there has been intense speculation, often fueled by these live streamers. A fever pitch was reached with baseless accusations made against Nancy's son-in-law, as he was the last person to see the 84-year-old grandmother alive. Now, this poor fifth-grade teacher named Dominic Evans said accusations against him exploded online after amateur investigators realized he played in a band with the son-in-law, and he had to send his kids away and hide inside his own home with the lights off. It's unbelievable. On February 16th, the Sheriff Chris Nanos put out a statement refuting rumors and stating Guthrie's family members had all been cleared of suspicion. State Representative Alma Hernandez, who lives in Tucson, was more blunt, saying she was sick of reporting grifting, insane speculation, lies, and BS by random wannabe journalists and YouTubers who have now caused more harm than good. Please go home, she said. Now let me comment to that. Okay. I understand what the state representative is saying. I understand the frustration. But yeah, and they shouldn't be there live streaming and causing all these problems. And when I heard that there was a live streamer there causing problems, I didn't even need to look up to know who it was. But I'm telling you, and I'm going to keep saying this till I not have a breath in me. If the sheriff would come out and give a little more information occasionally, a lot of this can be tempered down. If I could just be king, people, somebody elect me king for the day, I will fix this. But nobody's doing that, so I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so anyway, she asked them to please go home, stop following them during SWAT operations, and playing detectives. And she posted that on X. Another case recently cautioned as to what can happen if people broadcast libelous and defamatory allegations online. Texas TikTok tarot card reader Ashleigh Juilliard repeatedly and baselessly claimed in videos that University of Idaho professor Rebecca Schofield had a secret romance with one of the 4 victims of the Moscow, Idaho student murders and had ordered the killings. Now, she made the claims from November 2022 onward, despite a lawsuit filed by Schofield a month after stating she had never met the victims and was out of state when the murders occurred. Even after police said Schofield was not involved, and despite cease and desist orders from lawyers, this TikTok psychic continued to make claims. That led to a Boise court to rule against her and award Schofield $10 million in damages. Good for the court. That woman should have been arrested, that TikTok psychic. That was absolutely obscene. And again, Stacy, when we get thrown into the mix with people like this, it's very frustrating because we do our best not to be jerks and to be responsible, especially on websleuths.com.
Yeah.
You know, and people would go on there and post random people's name and say, I think this person may have done it. And then, you know, our mods were working their behinds off trying to pull all that information down. And we really work hard at websleuths.com and on this live stream to make it clear if we're not talking about facts, if we're talking about our opinions or even rumors. But we do our best not to contribute to the hysteria and all the problems.
And
go ahead.
yeah, and even while we're live streaming, I'm not sitting here doing nothing. I'm in the background looking everything up, confirming it, making sure we're correct. And I'm doing that the entire time we're doing the show.
Right, exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Half-cast Haku, your posts are posting. Sometimes the for some reason YouTube says that they won't post your post, and I have no idea what triggers that. So
Weird.
Anyway, so, but yeah, to go to the scene and to live stream and cause problems like that, you're just causing problems. It's one thing to go to a scene and live stream. You can do that. That is legal as long as it's set up for the media and you're not on private property. You can do that. But when you create a hysteria that causes more harm than good, it's again, the laws have not caught up. They will. The laws will catch up soon, hopefully soon. And pretty soon there's going to be I think a line drawn. And again, you can't differentiate between like mainstream broadcast media and some very reliable and excellent former broadcasters that now have YouTube channels. You know, you can't say because you're not on a broadcast company platform that you can't report. You can't do that. So what you have to do is you have to put rules in place for everybody. And the thought of these guys making $30,000 a week, are you kidding me? But again, you know, I'll look and they'll have, you know, literally 15,000 people in their chat. And we're here working our butts off trying to get the facts and trying to, you know, do all this. And we'll have, which is, I'm so grateful for, we'll have 400 in our chat. But, you know, again, it's what people want to see. And so, but I can't do that. And Stacy, I know you couldn't. I wouldn't have you on here if you could do that. You know?
No, I have no problem with people that are really trying to help, doing the right thing for the right reasons. But these people that are doing these things just to make money, etc., I can't. So
yeah, I can't either. Yes, Jesse Roblin, agree 1,000,000,000%. Let me put this up here. Citizen journalism is very important in a democratic society, but we need rules in place to protect everyone. 100% agree. We absolutely cannot silence. I guess you call them citizen journalists. I don't know. I don't know what you would call us. I would just call us web sleuthers because we're on Web Sleuths, you know, and we're just doing it. We literally are doing it to try and help, to bring you information, to have a good conversation. And who knows what will happen? Who knows what will come of it? However, I can tell you that law enforcement reads at Web Sleuths all the time. What law enforcement agencies? I can't tell you that. But from all over the world, they read at Web Sleuths because they get ideas, because people think outside the box on websleuths.com, and we don't allow people to go nuts and just post a bunch of crap. So, oh boy. I don't know. It's disheartening when you get lumped in with people like that. I've told this story before, but again, I'm old and I repeat myself. So you just have to deal with it. we got in trouble because we got accused of organizing a protest against the Anthony family. And I had, people close to me saying, oh, yes, it was organized on Websleuths.com and they were organizing it. I'm like, no, we were not. We were not. The Anthonys were going on a cruise to speak. And there was a whole bunch of other people, like victims' families that were on this cruise to talk about the cases, and they were high-profile cases. Well, the Anthonys were chosen to go on this cruise, Cindy and George Anthony. And a lot of people got very upset and called the cruise company. It got to the point where they were canceled. And so were the other family members that were going on that were counting. They needed that money because they had lost so much money because of the horror that they had been through with their families. But because Cindy and George were going on it and people didn't like Cindy and George, they organized somewhere, not on websleuths.com, but they organized somewhere and harassed the cruise company so much so that they canceled everybody. And oh God, people were mad at me at Websleuths. I'm like, show it to me. Show it to me. Find me one post where somebody said, hey, let's call this cruise company and complain. Never happened. But we get blamed for it, So anyway. And we got blamed for organizing two times. We got blamed for organizing a protest outside the Anthonys and for organizing a protest outside, Gabby Petito's boyfriend's house, Brian Laundrie. We didn't organize anything. We wouldn't allow it.
We thought those people were crazy.
Yeah.
And they should go home.
Absolutely. And on websleuths.com, if anybody
Except
posted,
Brian Entin, he wasn't. Just saying that. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, well, he's totally different. Brian Entin's amazing. So, but we if anybody posted that on websleuths.com, it was immediately removed as quickly as possible. Okay, I can't say it immediately gets removed within 30 seconds. Sometimes depends on where the mod is at the time, but anything like that gets removed because our members report it to us. So there you go. There you go. Oh yeah. The lady with the bullhorn was there. Yelling through the bullhorn, which is horrible. And there was a court case that had to do with that person and the Sebastian Rogers case. She was accused of harassing Sebastian's stepfather and mother. I don't know what eventually happened, but yeah, it was horrible, you guys. It was horrible.
There's a big difference in trying to help or be a journalist and report. That's okay. When you're trying to get yourself in there and get involved, you can really mess stuff up. Because there's a limit. We each have our place, and some people don't understand how investigations work and arrests work, and they go off half-cocked and cause problems.
These people actually went to where Candace and Don Wells were working, Summer Wells' parents. Now, whether you like them or not, that's not the point. But they actually went there and got them fired, which was horrible. I thought that was absolutely horrible. And it was a lady with the foghorn that did it.
And what is that? I mean, that's not investigating. That's not journalism. That's straight up harassment,
that's just
stalking, messing somebody's life up. What's that?
But you know what? They would have, close to 1,000 people in their chat.
Well, they can keep those 1,000 people.
I know. But what I'm saying is
I know.
It's frustrating.
People like that. Like I say, people like that voyeurism, reality TV stuff, the drama feeling, it's
exactly.
different.
Now, I do want to tell you something, and you weren't here when I made this announcement, but I'll be making this announcement every day for quite a while now. And that is our channel now is monetized. But here's the difference. We don't see a dime of that money. It goes directly to DNA Solves. Now, we've been asking a lot of times every night, hey, everybody, can you make a donation to DNA Solves? Can you make a donation? So many families that need to have those DNA tests done, but they start at $7,500. And so we were thinking, and we thought, let's just monetize our channel and just give them the money. that way we don't have to bug you guys, for constantly saying, can you help DNA solves? Can you help us, please? Now that doesn't mean we won't have sometimes do, targeted campaigns on certain cases. So if you do see an ad, or if you see like if you give a super chat, say you give a super chat, and I don't know if super chats are turned on yet or not, I'm not sure. But any money that is made by this channel, it literally just goes directly to DNA solves. So I thought that was a great way to do this. That way we don't have to sit there and go, okay, guys, come on, let's give a donation to DNA solves. Let's get these tests paid for. We'll just let the ads pay for them, and if you have YouTube Premium, then you won't see any ads. So, but again, we'll talk more about that later on as it gets more organized here. We're just in the beginning stages. So when I see somebody live streaming and I hear that they can earn $30,000 a week, I think, God, can you imagine what DNA Solves could do with that money?
Oh, I know.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Let's see. Olive Oil says Super Chat is not active yet. It will be. It will be active. And again, if you make it, doesn't go into our account. It goes right to DNA Solves. So those will be turned out. We're working on that. There's certain things that you have to do with YouTube and all of that stuff. So we are working on that. But and I'll have a specific statement that I'll read every day for a while. But yeah, I mean, can you imagine, Stacy, if we got like $30,000 in 1 week? Oh God, it would make me so happy. I can all these families would get answers, because most of what's on DNA Solves are these cases where there's unidentified remains. Some of them, they have the DNA of the killer, but they need the test done. So, but what I wouldn't give for that. What I wouldn't give for that. So I think that's everything. Let me talk about really quickly. Tomorrow night, Jim Rathman will be on. And Jim is going to talk about the case of, let me grab this again. I am so happy for this. I am so happy. Melanie Curtin. Now, he's been on here several times talking about Melanie's case. And it was a horrible case. Stacy, maybe you can speak to it better than I can. Or do you want, I can read the article if you'd rather.
Okay, either way.
Okay, well, let me do this really quickly. This is from WBRZ, and I'll put this in the description as well. A Livingston Parish jury on Tuesday acquitted a woman on simple rape and video voyeurism charges, finding that the recorded sexual encounter found during the year-long investigation of a former sheriff's deputy did not depict criminal activity. And what this was consenting adults doing consenting things on video. And they charged one woman, not anybody else, just as one woman. It was awful. Melanie Curtin had previously been convicted of first-degree rape and sentenced to life in prison. Oh my God, it was so awful, you guys. In her retrial, which opened last week, she faced up to 27 years in prison. She had been accused of taking part in a 2014 assault at Perkins' home. The woman who made the accusations testified she was so intoxicated she didn't know what was going on, and state prosecutors say the woman was unable to give consent. Simple rape carries a prison term of up to 25 years, while video voyeurism can be punished by up to 2 years behind bars. Curtin was accused of assaulting the woman with Dennis Perkins, a former Livingston Parish deputy, at the center of a juvenile sex crime investigation. Curtin was not accused of any offense involving children. Basically, it was consenting adults is what it was. And they wanted to make an example out of her or something, right, Stacy?
Yeah, something, because, these people were sick to start with. Remember what he did with the cupcakes?
Yeah. Oh, God, that's right.
Yeah. And then he had all these other things he liked to do and film it,
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, do you guys remember what he did with the cupcakes? You guys, please, let's not talk about that other YouTuber. There's a reason why we don't talk about him. And if you like him, that's great. I'm not good for you. I think you should support him, but please, okay, can we not do that? Thank you. Anyway, so he mixed his you know what in the was it cupcakes,
Yeah,
and then gave them to, was it kindergartners?
children, yes.
Children. That's what this guy did. This is how disgusting that guy is. Okay. So anyway, we'll have Jim go over it all, but he came on our channel and talked about it several times, and it was so wrong. And he didn't know her. He didn't know this woman. He didn't know Curtin. Didn't know her at all. But I think somebody reached out to him and said, "We need help. This is so unfair and so wrong." And yeah, so she was acquitted, and good for them. Good for that jury for acquitting her. So anyway, let's see. Let me go here. So anyway, that's Jim tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we're going to start early, everybody, okay? We are going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern, because I need to do another field trip to my departed friend's house, Beth B's house, and I need to go there while the sun is still up. All right, so we're going to get there right kind of at dusk, so we'll be able to see. I need to do a check on her house. It is locked up. People have been trying to break into it. And what I'm going to do that night, Stacy, is I'm going to have a much more organized telling of the story of why we're going to Beth B, and I'll have more information so people will understand, because I want you all to follow this case that we are working on. Also that night, when we get back from checking Beth B's house, I'm going to show you, remember we talked about people coming to the door? I'm going to show you the picture of the man that came to my door a few weeks ago and was pounding on it. And I believe he was here. Well, I think we've proven he was here for nefarious reasons. His badge supposedly represented Texas insurance, like the state of Texas. What was it? Insurance, HMO, and what was it, Stacy? Supposedly,
Texas, Texas insurance company, and then below it said they deal with live final expenses.
with final estate. Basically, what it is if somebody's left you money, the state of Texas tries to find you to talk to you about it and make sure you're the right person. And this guy was wearing a badge that indicated that basically from that organization in Texas, a state organization. But we couldn't see his name, and we found out that was it was fake. And he was here, and I believe it did have to do with my friend Beth B, because Stacy and I did discover absolute major fraud. And somebody I have Beth B's phone, and that's how we were able to discover that. And again, I'm going to tell it in a more cohesive way than I did last time we went out there. I hadn't planned to talk about it because I really didn't think anybody would go with us when we went out there. I didn't think anybody would find it interesting. I thought we'd have a handful of people, and it turned into a party. So yes. What?
I was going to say, everybody, next time, have your snacks ready.
Yes.
Road trip. Get them ready.
Road trip.
Yeah.
Snacks ready. Field trip. It's a field trip. And that will be Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to leave right at 8 p.m. Okay. Stacy will be here on stage, and I'll be in my car, and I will then be telling you more about the case. And then when we get back, after I check out the house and make sure everything's okay, then when we get back, I'm going to show you the picture of the guy. And the guy that was trying to, the only reason that he could be here, in my opinion, would be to get that phone, because the person involved in the fraud is dying to get that phone, because there was information on that phone, which we discovered, and it's now in the hands of the authorities, that is major, major fraud. And it's kind of scary, to be honest, because as my lawyer said to me many times, this is bigger than both of us. We don't know what we've uncovered. Just what the one thing we have uncovered is huge. We don't know how many people are involved. It could be more than the people that we know of. But my girlfriend, Beth B, had, she did have some significant savings that
Mhm.
she was, as she told me once, she said, I'm wealthy. I can help you. That's why she moved me out here. She specifically moved me from Utah out here to help her and to help Kyle the kidney. Remember that? And
Yeah. Hey,
and
can
so
I say what she got me?
yes, go ahead.
She bought me a custom made laptop. I got to pick out what I wanted and everything, and she paid for everything on it.
A custom made laptop so you could help me more with my live stream.
Yeah, the show.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was expensive and it was whatever you wanted. And she loved you, Stacy. She loved you.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, that's what she did, stuff like that. She paid for
Yeah.
my
She was
girlfriend's,
just so kind.
yeah. She paid for my girlfriend's vet bills, which were over a couple of $1,000. Things like that.
Yeah.
Well, this fraud that has happened, you know, I'll be honest, it's been very difficult for
Mhm.
me because it was supposed to be set up. It was set up to where if something happened to Beth B, I would be taken care of. Kyle the kidney would be taken care of. Somebody else would be taken care of. Well, that has all stopped almost because of this fraud. And I don't know what I'm going to do, but I was lucky enough to come into some money at the right time with something else, and I used it to get a really good lawyer. And when he saw the evidence, he was overwhelmed, couldn't believe it. And I'll go ahead.
Yeah, the betrayal. What she completely trusted this person. And
Yeah.
so for me, the betrayal and obviously the conning and scamming the whole time is just what kills me, what was being done to her the whole time.
It was a horrible, horrible
That's what
betrayal.
gets me. That's what
Horrible.
makes me like want to help, you know.
And you did. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have been able to find it because Beth B gave me her iPhone to take care of. And I didn't know anything about an iPhone. And I've showed you the woo-woo before. And we can talk all about that. But I don't know if this person is watching. I don't think she is. I don't think she gets what I do. But I know they wanted this iPhone desperately. And what's ironic is it doesn't matter now because the information is in the right hands.
Yep.
So if I get hit by a bus, you know,
Yeah.
if an airplane drops a load on my head, it won't matter because you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. The right people have the sheet of paper that we needed that showed this incredible fraud. And I will go into some detail on Thursday. So, but some of you knew Beth B here, but, oh, Kelly J, I can't believe what money does to people. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I can't. I can't.
And again, I am so grateful to my attorney. And it was a big chunk. It was, you know, a big chunk of the money that I got, but it had to be done. But again, it you know, it's put me in a situation that is very, very difficult, but it will all work out somehow. I know it will. I know it will, because Beth B thought she had everything done. She thought she had her whole estate handled, which I was going to handle it. And
which we have proof of that as well.
we have proof. Everything I'm going to tell you about, we have
the proof of.
absolute
Yeah.
hardcore proof of.
Yeah.
And yeah, the betrayal was just awful. So
You would just be so devastated. And, you know, I'm glad she's not here to find out.
Me
know?
too. It would be so hard for her to accept. It was hard for me to accept.
It was. It took Trish.
Yeah.
Trish was
Wow.
having a hard time with it just because she trusted Janet so much. And
Yeah.
So, but
'Cause
I
it-
just get it. How could she be tricked by this person? And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it was because they were friends or
well, they were
whatever.
friends
But
for 30 years,
yeah,
but they were
this
coworkers
lady
first.
is not. The thing she's saying to you, Trish, isn't right.
Right.
So, you know,
Yeah. It was
however
bad.
that happened, she must be really good at it, which makes us think she's done it to multiple people
Yeah.
and will continue to do it unless she's stopped.
Right. Exactly. And we are talking cash, mostly cash, and some real estate over $1 million.
But
That was
you know, I
taken.
just,
So
you know, these people work so hard their whole lives, and they, you know, there's the parents, for example, they work so hard their whole lives, and then some parents are able to set away money for their children when they're gone.
right.
Okay. Could you imagine somebody like that coming in and taking that you worked your whole life to save for your children,
Right.
taking that money? Oh
I
my
know.
God.
I know. It's horrible. It's just it
That's what
is. It's
gets me.
horrible. And that's what happened here. Yeah.
What kind of person could do something like that? Somebody with no conscience, in my opinion, for starters.
Right.
And that's just not good.
Well, and she has convinced herself that she didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
That it was just hers. It was hers.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
nothing in writing, nothing anywhere to say it was hers. I mean, so
Yeah.
it's so black and white that I'm very frustrated because I'm just waiting. Something's going to be happening soon. I don't know when. But again, I can't go into Beth B's house. Janet is her first name. So if you hear us say Janet, that's who we're talking about. I can't go into Beth B's house because legally nobody has it. So it is locked up though to keep people from breaking in. Somebody tried to break in, and that's why I want to keep going back there at different times. So if somebody's watching the house to break in, they'll never know when I'm showing up, and the police are making more rounds and stuff. It's just something I want to do to make sure it's okay, and the neighbors are watching out for it. So although Beth B did absolutely tell me to take care of her house, and that's what I'm doing. So
I have a response. I think it says Nana F2. We weren't complaining about the money they make. What we're talking about is these people that do horrible things, don't really care. They're in it just to make the money while you see so many other people that really care and put so much effort into things and hardly make anything. That's what we were talking about.
Well, and I want to put this up here because I do want to respond to this. It says you weren't complaining about your YouTubers when your friend from HTC was making a lot of money. Okay, nobody I know that's a friend of mine would go and interfere with an investigation. Okay, that's the difference. Go and do a live stream that interferes with what the police are doing. Going to a courtroom and reporting on a case, totally different, not even close to the same thing. Good for people that do that. A lot of people do that. Nancy Grace does it. Ashleigh Banfield does it. They all do it, you know? So if you're going to complain about one person, you have to complain about all of them. And there's nothing wrong with that. What I am talking about is what the sheriff and the neighbors were talking about. And that was the interference that was going on with these YouTubers. And you cannot compare you can't compare them. You can't. So if you're going to complain about anybody reporting on a court case, then you need to complain about KSL and Brian Entin, and you need to complain about Nate Eaton and everybody else.
ABC.
ABC and News Nation, Court TV. Those people, that's not anybody who we're talking about. And the people you're talking about did not do what these live streamers that we're talking about did. Okay. That's, and we're just reporting on it. I'm not saying, oh, this is exactly what these YouTubers did and blah, blah. I'm just reporting on what we were told they did. Okay.
And what it shows is a lot of people don't really care about the truth or the case or have critical thinking skills, and they're easily manipulated.
Exactly. And yeah, go ahead and unsub for me. That's fine.
You know, Yeah.
Yeah, because if you think that the people you're talking about are anything like the people that we were talking about earlier, show it to me. Right, Stacy? Show us. Show us where they've gone and the police have complained because they're interfering. Show us where they've gone and where the neighborhood has been complaining because they're interfering here.
Or better yet, the people you're thinking of, go do your research on them and you'll
Yes.
see where they have interfered and what they've done.
Exactly.
Mhm.
There you go. But again, you can't that's so frustrating, Stacy, because it's not even close to the same thing. It's not even close to the same thing.
And it's not really about the money either. It's just
No.
shocking that
Yeah.
that kind of bull people pay for it. And it's very sad and disheartening.
It is. It is. I was talking about specifically this case and the people that law enforcement and the neighbors were saying was interfering.
Yep.
That's what I was talking about. These people did not interfere. And again, they were doing exactly what Nancy Grace, News Nation, Ashleigh Banfield, ABC, NBC, CBS, Brian Entin, Nate Eaton. They're all those people are respectable and they're reporting on cases, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. And they deserve to make money because that's their job. Okay. And if you're going to complain about them, you got to complain about everybody else that's doing the same thing. I just don't understand how it's like comparing apples to truck stops that have nothing to do with each other. What am I missing? Stacy, help me.
I've been through this. It's, just critical thinking and logic. And what happens is people see something, other people are good manipulators, and they're able to be convinced that this person's doing a good thing that they really can. And not that they've just found another scam.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, this is a place where you can make a lot of money.
And hey,
so,
I'm
people
all
move
for,
on. Yeah.
I'm all for YouTubers making money. Just don't interfere with a case, okay?
Or
Don't
put out
harass
incorrect
people.
information or harass people. That's not good.
Right. Or yeah, make up information, make up leads, throw stuff out there that causes problems. Don't do that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So, just follow the rules and be careful what you put out there. But I have no problem. I have no problem with Nancy Grace and Ashleigh Banfield reporting from, the courthouse. Nate Eaton, great reporter from the courthouse, all of those people. There's nothing wrong.
Brian Entin's great in the field. He's very
Fabulous.
professional. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was there. He was there in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
neighbors loved him because he didn't interfere and he didn't throw stuff out there. He didn't report on a car being towed and turn it into a big drama,
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, that's it. That's it. So that's what I'm talking about. Yes, chat is working. Hi, DMax13. Good to see you. So. That right. Just call me Kim P. People think that this is an airport. They need to announce when they're leaving.
Oh no! Who took a flight?
I did. They did. They took a flight. Somebody took a flight. Oh well. Oh well. What the heck? So anyway, I hope I've made myself like a bit clearer on that. So let's see. Lynn Gen 2 says the peas are always cold for somebody at the dinner table. Yep. So let's see. Does anybody here in chat remember Beth B? She would pop into chat every so often. She watched every night. Sometimes she'd text me and get so mad at me. Quit touching your hair. That drives me crazy.
Fix your light.
What?
Fix your lighting.
Yeah, fix your lights. Your lights are dull. I can't see. And I'm like, I'm in the middle of a live stream. I can't fix anything, but I'll quit touching my hands. I'll sit on my hands.
It was all good intentions. She just wanted you to be the best. you
She did,
know.
and she was wonderful that way. She
Yeah,
was, oh
that's
my
all she
God.
wanted for you.
That's all of this back here, Beth B bought for me. I could
Yeah.
never afford anything like this. So I'm just anxious for this to get handled. And I can't wait to tell you I can't tell you yet, but the happy ending of
Oh
where
yes, that'll be
everything
so
is going to
great.
go. It's going to, you're just going to go,
Yeah,
wow, that's so cool.
it's
So
perfect.
it is perfect. It is absolutely
Perfect.
perfect. So, okay. I think that's everything. How long? Oh gosh, we've been on an hour and a half.
Yeah, you need to shut up now. No,
I do need to shut up. I could go on and on. I could. I really could. So,
I could too. So it's an issue.
oh, Kelly says, stop pounding the table. It hurts my ears. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was doing that. I'm just trying to make a point. I won't pound the table anymore. I do move things around sometimes and they drop, but I won't pound. I apologize. So it hurts her ears. So
No
I'll be
more
careful.
torturing Kelly J.
I won't. No, Kelly J's been tortured enough on this channel, people. How many times has she been accidentally banned? It's the least I can do, you know, the least I can do. So let's see. I'm just reading some of the stuff here. Candy Williams says, I remember Beth B.
Yeah.
So,
And she loved Ping.
oh God, she adored Ping.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She did. She'd go to Ping's every night. And then every morning I go over there every day and she'd give me a report on what Ping was doing. Just I heard all about Ping constantly. So she was great. She was just wonderful. I've got such a story to tell, and I can't wait to tell you all the details. You guys will just, it is really one of the most amazing true crime cases that we have stumbled upon. That
And considering,
else?
you know, what Trisha does and what I do, it perfect. I mean, we're right in the middle of a real life case we're web sleuthing. So
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We are. It's like, you know, how did I end up like this with this real life true crime case?
Yeah.
And it is pretty big. So we call it effort and mention that many. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm just reading some of these chats here. Stephanie Ferraro says chat's not working for me. What's going on with chat, everybody? I'm not sure.
Huh.
Yeah, and you're right, Debbie Owens. There's the right way to report and the wrong way to report. So absolutely. Dee 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 dee. Let's see here. I'm just reading really quick, everybody. I want to make sure I haven't hurt anybody else's feelings or ears. Oh my God. I feel terrible. Oh, I feel terrible when I hear stuff like that. That I, you know, because of something I did, it hurt their ears. It's
Yes,
like, I'm so
God.
sorry. I don't
Yeah,
want
to
to
me,
do
that's
that.
the worst thing I
Yeah.
could do. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, is there anything else, my darlings? Stacy fixed it. Did you fix chat? Did you even know you fixed chat?
Oh, I
Stacey?
guess so.
You're
I'm magic like that.
You are magic. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're very magic. So, okay, everybody. And I'll put the link to that post article in the description. I read it off my phone, so I need to get it in the description here, and I'll get it to you. And again, I am not complaining about people making money on YouTube. And hey, I'm not complaining about people going and live streaming. They can, I don't care. Just don't interfere with cases and cause problems. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So, okay, I want to thank our wonderful moderators. I see Moonlight View is here. That is so good to see you, my dear. Also, Detective's daughter, Lin Jen 2, and Four Sons Mom. And let's see, Love and Coco and Alicia Gallegos. Ladies, thank you so, so much. So tomorrow night, Jim Rathman going to talk about an amazing case that will blow your mind. And we are so happy. We are so happy that Ms. Curtin has been found basically not guilty, has been acquitted on all charges. We'll give you all the details. And don't forget to check out websleuths.com, okay? Stacy, anything else going on, darling, before we head out?
Not tonight, but there will be tomorrow. So
There definitely will be. And be sure and give the thumbs up. And what's the other new thing that we
hype
have?
button.
The hype button. If you see the hype button, please hype our channel. That will help us. Okay. That will really, really help us. So, and tomorrow night, again, Jim Rathman. And I think that's everything. You guys, I love you so much. Check out websleuths.com. We'll be back here tomorrow night, 10:30 Eastern on Websleuths YouTube Live. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.